Hi everyone, thank you for coming to the Family Voice transition event. I'd like to introduce you to Michael Pipe. Michael works with the local offer and he's going to tell you a bit about what his role is and what the local offer is and what it can offer. Hi Michael.
Hi Kate, hi everyone. Thanks for giving me the chance to speak. So I'm Michael Pipe, I'm Helping Families lead at Surrey County Council. And what that means is I manage the Family Information Service and local offer at Surrey. So here today to talk a little bit about the local offer, where we are at the moment with the local offer, and how we can get you involved in the local offer. So I'm going to start off with what the local offer is. So the local offer is mainly it's a website for children and young people with additional needs, their families and the practitioners who help them. And what the local offer is one central spot where you'll find helpful information and the details of support in your area. So on our local offer, we've got information pages, which we think will have useful information, a directory of local services. We've got news. We've got links out to our social media. We have a Facebook, a Twitter, and an Instagram. In 2021, we created a new local offer website and carried out a lot of user testing with many people, but including with Family Voice, which led to the creation of a new website in December 2021. And where we are with it now is, we're proud of the new website. We feel that we have steered things in the right direction, but it's been really useful to hear people's feedback, both internally and externally, about how we can develop the site further. So at the start of this year, through Family Voice, a parent carer very kindly gave us their time and went through some of the pages which had a particular focus for families and rewrote those and made the language in them more friendly and more accessible. And that was really beneficial to us. And there's a number of developments we've made on the site, which are more geared to if you're a parent carer and you're starting your journey, where to go. And we've improved a lot of the information content, so it's a lot clearer when you're starting a journey, what you need to do and who you may need to approach. A couple of things I feel really proud about for the local offer this year. The work we've carried out with Family Voice already, I feel really proud of. Also, we've taken on an apprentice in the team and developed an Instagram account just so we can reach out to a different audience, maybe a bit more of a younger audience or a younger parent carer audience. And that's been really, really successful. We launched it, I think, in June time, and we've got about 300 followers, and we keep it regularly up to date. And it's been a real pleasure working alongside the apprentice, getting it launched, thinking about posts and what have you. So that's been a real success story. I also manage within my team. I manage a role called Community Connectors, and the idea of their role is they get out in the community, they go along to various settings where families, parent carers will be present, and spread the word of the local offer and hear about what services are in the community and feed that back into the local offer. And over the last couple of months, they've had some real success stories, got out, met a load of parent carers and pointed them to the local offer as a source of support. And just loads and loads of great stories about people not knowing about the local offer previously or knowing about it in the past and going back. And I think both parent carers and practitioners have been really appreciative of that offer in the community, getting out there, meeting people face to face, and in some instances taking people's inquiries and being able to respond to them. So that's been a real success story. With the local offer, we never think it's job done. We're always looking to refine and improve it further. And what we're starting to develop and think about is user groups, both parent carer and practitioner user groups. We've had some input in the past, and it's really brought the site alive from our point of view. So what we're trying to develop is a parent carer user group. And if you're interested in taking part on that, if you navigate to the local offer, so just type in Surrey local offer in Google, and from the homepage, type in the search feedback, you'll get onto a page where you'll be able to sign up for a user group, and we'd love to hear from you, and we'd really appreciate your input.
So Michael, I was just going to ask quickly, if somebody wanted to feed in some thoughts about what they thought should be on the site, or that they found it difficult to navigate, or it's missing a section on something like a particular condition or an age group, they could email in onto that site and you would get in touch to ask them more about it?
Absolutely, yeah. Kind of, you don't have to kind of use you don't have to join a user group to feed back about the local offer. So what you can do is you can email the team. So it's localoffer@surreycc.gov.uk, or if you go on the actual site, there's a feedback bar on every single page on the site where you can comment on individual pages or just leave a general comment, and that comes into the team. And we've had a number of comments just through people clicking on the site and saying, this bit of information is missing, or can you clarify this bit of information, or this wasn't quite clear enough for me. And I mean, that's really useful because we can literally pick it up, have a look at it, and and fine tune it. And where people leave their details, if they do leave their details, obviously we'll get back in touch with people and acknowledge that they've been in touch. Wherever we can, we want to kind of let people know that their feedback kind of hasn't been in vain, and exactly what we've done with it.
Great. And in line with that, as you know, this is a transition event predominantly, and one of the steers is around secondary school transitions. So in line with that, we looked at sections on the local offer to see if there was something specific to that, and felt like there was a kind of missing gap in it. How can we plug that gap, basically?
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame, because there's a whole section, really detailed, great section about preparing for adulthood, which is more about secondary to college. But absolutely, kind of there is a very clear gap there. So I think what I'd love to do with yourself, Kate, and and others, is think about kind of what content needs to be on there. What's the structure of a page or a section, and go from there. And that's maybe something we can kind of put to the user group, work on with the user group. And I think, and maybe it's something that will come up in the actual event itself as well. A couple of team members are going along to the event just to kind of, with a stall, and maybe there's some feedback they can offer my team members there. And I think very quickly, kind of, either directly myself and you, or through the user group, we can kind of, where there is the gap, kind of fill that gap, and kind of where people are looking for that information, make sure that there is some helpful content there. I mean, at the moment, there isn't the content there. I'd probably point people at the moment to the directory, which is a directory of services, but kind of that actual information content, it's not there at the moment. But we can absolutely kind of respond to that gap and kind of fill that content and put some useful content, which we developed with parent carers and others on there.
Yeah. I think that would be really good, because it is such a difficult time for young people and families, the transition piece, that on the website there is definitely a lot of information that sits applicable for people in that bracket, but it would be wonderful to pull it all into one place so that families don't have to search around and find the bits that are relevant to them at the time.
Yeah, no, we want to make it as straightforward as as possible to people. Kind of, as you say, kind of it might be a case of just pulling across different parts of of the site and adding some bits in, but it needs to be easy to get to. You don't want to kind of be flicking through multiple pages to get there. You want kind of a section, and it'd be quite clear kind of what you need to do.
Okay. And what do you think are the strengths of the local offer, Michael? If I was to, what would be the benefit of me going onto the local offer site as a parent carer?
I think at the moment the main strengths are kind of, we've done some peer reviews with other local authorities, and I think the quality of our information content is really good. The code of practice sets out kind of what content needs to be on the local offer, and we've tested it. It's all there. I would say the news section is really, really good. Where I manage the wider family information service, we're always hearing about events that are going on for families, always hearing. We're very well linked in with like the comms team at Surrey County Council and other services, both voluntary and outside. And so we're constantly hearing about what's going on. So the news and events section are very, very strong.
Does that have on there things like local clubs that would be applicable, or?
Yes, it's there. Kind of more kind of one-off events or activities would be the news articles. The clubs would tend to be more on the directory. But kind of one-off events or services that would sit more in the news section or the events section. So, for example, I heard from you not so long ago that you'd run a couple of days at Spelthorne Leisure Centre. So, kind of that went on more as an event and a news story on the site. than kind of an ongoing service. But you can absolutely find clubs that run week in, week out on the directory. Short breaks information is there on the directory. I think the other things to feel proud of is, as I said, kind of the connectors, that kind of we're actually getting out there and kind of raising awareness and trying to get to groups where people don't know about the local offer. And so just giving people that opportunity to know about it, and actually kind of, if they don't know about it, there's no way they can navigate around the information. There's no way they can feed back to us about the usefulness of the information. So it's been really great kind of getting out and being active in the community. The other thing I feel really proud about is, again, our social media. We've got Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, really reaching out to a wide audience. So we get really good interactions over our social media. And that's something I feel really, really proud of. The local offer is supposed to be more than just a website. It's supposed to kind of reach out and be a community-based thing, and you're supposed to promote it far and wide. And I feel we're doing that really effectively.
Brilliant. Can I just ask for clarity for families? If they wanted to find you on Facebook, they would just type in local offer, Surrey local offer? Yeah, and on Instagram?
Yeah, Surrey local offer. Or if there's any kind of any issue, just navigate to the main local offer website, and at the bottom there's the Facebook, Twitter and Instagram icons.
Brilliant. Okay, great, thanks. And so one of Michael's strengths and his team is that they are so open to feedback, and hopefully that you have got that now, that they're constantly developing the local offer, constantly updating it. They want to make it as accessible for families as possible. So if there is any elements that you feel are missing on there when you've had a look, then please contact him via one of those two ways, either the email address or indeed the feedback forms, so that we can start to work together to make sure that families are accessing all the information that they need and want. And there are some really useful events on there, and links to different services, and also as well some clubs that children might be interested in Surrey, because it covers the whole of Surrey, doesn't it, Michael?
Yeah, it's Surrey, and there's kind of national services that are applicable. We add they're on the directory as well. And in terms of what goes on the directory, that's all quality assured. People can't just add themselves to the directory. People can request to go on the directory, and then within my team there's almost a panel there is a panel that's set up which kind of scrutinizes what goes on the directory, whether or not it's a useful service for families. There's various criteria you'd have to meet to go on the directory, and if you don't meet that criteria, you don't go on the directory. So it's all quality assured what goes on there.
Brilliant. One thing, Michael, we heard from families quite a lot recently, and I wondered, putting you on the spot a bit, if it's something that maybe might be able to be put onto the local offer, is around things like at fireworks night, where there is a Sen fireworks show with low bangs, low noise, where there are local Sen Santa grottos, for example. Is that something that could be kind of put onto the local offer?
Absolutely, yeah. It's sometimes it's a case of kind of knowing about them, but where we know about them, and hear about them, they absolutely go on the local offer. And coming back to the community connectors, which is a role I manage, and then being more active in the community and meeting kind of various services and organisations, I feel what's really improved is we're actually hearing about those things. We're not just kind of relying on services remembering to email us. We're actually actively getting out, and services are telling us, and then that's getting fed back into what goes on the site. But yeah, kind of coming back to the strengths of the site, the news and the events, we can absolutely put that on. And what we really want to kind of develop is kind of key dates across the year for families, and making sure we're putting out helpful information of, whether it be fireworks night, or kind of whether there's a deadline where you need to apply for, making sure that we're really making people aware of that.
Great, thank you. Okay, so thanks very much for your time, Michael. As Michael's mentioned, please get in touch if you'd like to be involved in the user group, or have any thoughts and feelings on sections that are missing, or things that you would like updating on the local offer. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Take care.